More and more, it is seen that youth are leaving New Brunswick to seek entrepreneurial and job opportunities. In fact, out of all provinces, New Brunswick is the one that has decreased its young population number the most. In the past 15 years, the youth demographic declined by almost 16,000 people in our province. And out of the 120,000 job openings estimated by 2027, almost 13,000 of this will have to be filled by out-of-province workers, because we won't have enough local labor to fill them. This leaves the province with a big issue in hand: the lack of human capital.
We are seeing an opportunity to help the new generation of New Brunswickers create their own chances without needing to go elsewhere. We believe New Brunswick is more than qualified to provide opportunities to help people develop their talents and start their own businesses. My name is Jake.
My name is Sophia,
and
we are Enactus UNB.
When facing this issue, our team decided to take action and came up with an innovative solution. We established a program called Entrepreneurship Week, in which we teach children between the ages of 9 to 13 how to build, develop, and improve their own business.
During the course of a week, we aim to teach children everything about creating a business, from marketing to product development and business financials.
On Monday, we teach them an intro to business and entrepreneurship, while on Tuesday and Wednesday, we dedicate our time to helping them brainstorm a product, how to market their brand, and how to create sales promotions.
We finish our teaching on Thursday by helping the children create their product and showing them how to market their business for the sale on Friday. And on Friday, the children sell their products on an expo in a local community center. This allows them to make profit and get an idea of how to sell their products.
Our Entrepreneurship Week program, or E-Week as we like to call it, costs $140 per child. This money is used to cover part of the expenses we have on setting up the camp, such as buying the materials for the kids' products, creating advertisement campaigns, and much more.
The other part of expenses is covered by sponsors from our local community. Our local sponsors also have volunteers who come in to talk to the children and inspire them with their success stories and examples.
We also count on the help of our Enactus team members, who stay with the children during the entire week. In the future, we want to be able to pay our members to compensate for the time they may miss from their everyday jobs while volunteering at E-Week.
Entrepreneurship Week is designed to empower children by teaching them skills they can take and apply in the future. By taking upon their aspirations and business ideas, the children can realize the power they have to improve their community through smart business solutions.
At a young age, children have the most creative and innovative ideas, and we provide them with entrepreneurial knowledge for them to develop their very own mini enterprise. For example, Anthony, a kid from our Entrepreneurship Week session last summer, loved the program and was able to make a profit on his energy balls products. At the sale we had, Anthony was able to make $80 in profit, which he used to take his parents out for dinner. Let's see what Anthony has to say about E-Week.
My name is Anthony, and I do business with Enactus, and I am 10 years old. The name of my company is Food Energy. I'm selling my granola bar for $1.
This year, we've enabled progress by having one session with our new partner, the YMCA of Fredericton. In this session, we impacted 4 children, helped them create 4 businesses, and altogether the business generated more than $150 in profit.
We had a lot of fun working with the children at the YMCA this year. In the future, we plan to partner with the VIP, which is an incubator in Fredericton that assists with startup companies. This will allow us to impact even more children and give us a more hands-on approach.
Now that we know what it's like to work with a nonprofit, we want to expand our project even more.
For the future, we plan on doing 2 more summer camps, where we plan to impact 40 more children. We plan to achieve this by next summer, and we hope that with such passionate work, we will impact more children and show them the positive opportunities New Brunswick has to offer to entrepreneurs.
We were so fortunate to be able to teach these children all about entrepreneurship and show them just how much their actions can impact their community. It was such a pleasure inspiring the next generation of business leaders, and we are going to continue doing passionate work this incoming summer.
We are extremely grateful to be able to help people in our community. Overall this year, we've impacted 4 children, teaching them entrepreneurial skills and showing them the opportunity of creating their own futures in New Brunswick. We are Enactus UNB, and we are rewriting the story of New Brunswick.
1 in 3 Canadians will develop a mental illness at some point in their life, ranging from anxiety and depression to PTSD and paranoia. Many can go weeks, even months, without being properly diagnosed or treated. In fact, to get help from a mental health professional in Newfoundland and Labrador, the average wait time is 29 weeks. The gap between the number of people experiencing mental health issues and those actually receiving treatment is cause for significant concern. The Enactus CNA St. John's team has recognized this problem, and through our project, Total Exposure, we have found several ways to help fill this gap. Our team is dedicated to helping individuals become independent in dealing with their own mental health. Presenting for you today is Morgan, Alexandria, Josie, and on tech, Jessica and Cyril. We have several methods to help achieve these goals. The first was to create an easily accessible forum that would educate individuals, provide resources, and create a safe place to express their feelings. Our second method is through our workshops. These workshops not only connect individuals with organizations, but teaches them the skills they need to cope. Our third method was to further educate ourselves by empowering our team members via mental health first aid training. This will help us to assist those who are struggling, as well as inspire our team to come up with new ideas to combat mental health realities. Our Facebook page, Totally Exposed, currently has 182 members and growing. We use this page as a forum to broadcast our workshops or any other event being held within the region that we think would be beneficial to our followers. We provide the group members with resources available to them, such as websites, helplines, and organizations that can help assist those affected by mental health. In February, we held a campus-wide student wellness event available to all college students. We brought in several volunteers to host 8 different workshops, offering students the opportunity to participate in a variety of stress-reducing workshops, including yoga, martial arts, relaxation methods, confidence building, and more. The workshops were held for 30 minutes, and each one was offered twice in order to provide opportunity to as many students as possible. This event was successful in providing students with a healthy break before exams to help reduce their stress. This year, we have also made a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club, and one of the initiatives that our team was eager to help with was Warm Bellies. Warm Bellies is a program that the Boys and Girls Club developed to help the kids in their after-school program with food security. It is an initiative where organizations volunteer to cook a warm meal for the kids. This helps reduce stress of the children who may sometimes have to worry about when and where they're going to get their next hot meal. Our newest initiative with Total Exposure is our Youth Poster Contest. We sent out a poster contest to all schools in the metro area, asking students to illustrate what mental health means to them. We offered 2 top prizes of $100. Our newest contribution with our Total Exposure project is helping Hubert Ryle. Hubert has lived in Newfoundland his whole life and has taken on his own business venture. He deals with a disability that was caused by a car accident years ago. Not being able to work again sparked his interest in finding ways to help others. He developed an anti-bullying board game, but has struggled for over a decade to obtain funding to start his new business. We have partnered with him to develop his business plan, market his board game, and to expand his impact. We are very excited to help Hubert reach his dreams and goals. We want to impact others and to teach awareness, understanding, and most importantly, to let them know that they are not alone and there are countless resources to help navigate life and all of its challenges. Enactus CNA St. John's, as champions of independence, along with our community, are fighting the war to end the stigma associated with mental illness. Thank you, Enactus CNA St. John's.
Half of post-secondary students do not know where their next meal is coming from. That is food insecurity. In some of our First Nation communities, poverty affects the majority of our children, and we know that this continues into adulthood. We know students who get on a bus at 6 a.m. to begin their day. Some have breakfast, some may not. Some will go hungry without lunch, returning home 12 hours later. Maslow tells us that our very basic needs for food and shelter must be met before we can accomplish much else. Concentrating while in class when you are hungry, near impossible. Here are some heartbreaking realities that are happening on our campus.
We've had students share their stories with us. One student told us their unemployment insurance benefits were cut off and their job options were limited because of being in school. What limited money they had needed to be spent wisely, and meals weren't their priority. When we discussed the problems we could solve in our community, we realized food insecurity was hitting close to home. After doing some research, we found that there are many supports in place for early and secondary education, but not so much for post-secondary students. Many struggle to meet the demands of adult life. We know our physical and mental health is affected when we don't have consistent access to healthy food. When students have food insecurities, they may have much higher rates of anxiety and depression. Students are also at greater risk of deferring their studies or reducing to part-time. Unfortunately, some will drop out, so close to realizing their college dreams.
The research shows that those who manage to stay in school, they are receiving more C's, D's, and F's. Food banks are common on college campuses, but research shows that they are underutilized even though the need is there. Students are making the choice between food and textbooks, rent, or heat. We are Enactus MARCONI, and we are fighting the battle on food insecurity.
This semester, we launched the Meal It Forward program. The goal is simple: improve academic success through nutritious meals. The spin-off, social interaction, and a sense of belonging. Our program allows students to achieve their full potential, increase in attendance and academic performance. If a student is hungry, there is no need to stay at home. A hot meal is waiting for them on campus. Students can now have lunch with their friends. Here's how the program works.
Enactus MARCONI raises funds each month to purchase $30 meal cards to distribute free of charge to students faced with food insecurities. To respect a student's confidentiality, anyone can request a card through a student services advisor. These cards are the same cards widely used on campus. This is an anonymous program, and we will never know the names of the meal card recipients.
In 1 week of launching Meal It Forward, we raised over $1,500 and purchased 50 meal cards. Within 5 days of making those meal cards available, not one card remained, telling us the demand is greater than we ever imagined. These meal cards provided up to 300 meals for hungry students. Our short-term goal is to provide 2,500 meals during the school year. The long-term goal, increase graduation rates by 5%.
When we started the program, we thought it was a local problem. But we soon learned that this problem exists across the country on all campuses. We applied an innovative solution to this problem. We also learned new skills such as fundraising, marketing, and financial management, and we're helping students to manage their own finances. We have developed best practices for this program and encourage all post-secondary institutions to connect with us. We'd like to share our program with others.
Meal It Forward is not just a meal card program. It is also an awareness campaign. We are talking about an issue that many students are afraid to talk about. We are breaking down the food insecurity barriers, and we project that campus food banks will be better utilized as more students ask for the help they may need. Half of post-secondary students do not know where their next meal is coming from. We are solving that problem and sending students on to realize their dreams of graduating from college and university. We are Enactus MARCONI.
Mount Allison University is home to approximately 2,600 students, staff, and faculty, some of which live on campus, while many others live in our small town of Sackville, New Brunswick, whose population is approximately 5,300. At Mount Allison University, 214 tons of waste is generated each year, primarily from residential buildings, while also coming from campus dining service and academic buildings. But sadly, more than half of that waste goes to landfills. The university's facilities management researched that less than 25% of students properly sort waste within their residence. In order to understand the challenges from the student perspective, we conducted a survey with 267 students from all 8 residences on the Mount Allison campus. We realized that 57% are confused by the sorting method in their residences, 18% have no previous knowledge of sorting and have never sorted waste before, and 26% of students cannot understand the current posters on waste sorting. Because of health and safety concerns, workers at the waste collection facility do not compost wrongly sorted organic bags, and a general lack of proper waste sorting at Mount Allison has contributed to incorrectly sorted compost bags being dumped in landfills. These waste sorting errors have cost the university $25,000 in tipping fees and approximately another $25,000 to have Faro, the garbage collection company, transport it to the dump. Enactus Mount Allison visited Eco360's facility, and here's the issue in more detail.
That when we receive the materials, okay, we want to have the material as clean as possible. So a quick rinse, a scrape off the food that you have in your plate, make sure that the materials are clean and rinsed. Basically, when the loads come in for organics or for blue, they're dropped onto the tipping floor, and then there's an employee that will look at it, and then they assess the load. They see if there is too much contamination. If there's more than 20%, we will reject it so that it doesn't go through the process and contaminates the rest of our materials. So what we do with that is that we take sure that it's good. If it's not, then we take pictures, we make sure that there's a reason why we reject it, and then it's sent to the landfill. So it's very important to have a clean material when it comes in.
We at Enactus Mount Allison present Project Greenlight. Project Greenlight is a youth empowerment and climate change project that aims to educate students and community members in Sackville, New Brunswick on the proper waste sorting methods as outlined by Eco360. We also hope to use our educational program to avert tons of harmful waste materials from going into landfills. Following our inspection of residents' waste bins, we began by designing posters depicting the most common products discarded by students on campus. We then partnered with the university's facilities management to have our posters placed above bins in all the residences and academic buildings. We also created short, innovative videos that explain the importance of various sorting methods, which are displayed around campus and on social media platforms. Additionally, we began working with the university's orientation group to have informative sessions during the orientation week to elaborate the need for proper waste sorting to returning and incoming students. We are also working with the Student Union's Environmental Committee and Residents' Eco Representative to spread awareness to residents and off-campus students. Project Greenlight aims to empower all students and community members, raise more awareness on the importance of waste sorting, and provide bags at a subsidized cost to off-campus students and community members to encourage the use of the garbage, recyclables, and compost streams. We have empowered over 25 students by involving them in awareness campaigns. We have educated over 800 students on proper sorting methods. Together, with the help of the university's facilities management, we have successfully diverted over 25,000 pieces of refundables from landfills. Together at Enactus Mount Allison, we believe we can provide people with the knowledge needed to make environmentally beneficial decisions. Together, we can work towards a greener tomorrow. Together, we believe we can.
Good day, judges. Welcome to the Scotiabank Youth Empowerment Challenge. Mental illness indirectly affects all Canadians at some time through a family member, friend, or colleague. In any given year, 1 in 5 people in Canada will personally experience a mental health problem or illness.
In December of 2017, the statistic hit home. Our town suffered a tragic loss. Victoria was a music teacher, a mental health advocate, role model, and a friend who lost her struggle with mental health. We are a small team approximately of 20 members located in rural Newfoundland. In our town, mental health resources are limited. We wanted to find a way to improve our situation. We conducted a needs assessment in our community, and one issue that everyone identified with was the need for a mental health drop-in center.
This inspired us to create Victory. Victory is a drop-in center that happens every Thursday night at College of the North Atlantic. Our main goal for Victory is to create a safe space where people can enjoy various activities at no cost. These activities are designed to provide people with strategies to cope with their personal struggles.
In 2018, the Victory Centre was established. This year, we have partnered with local community groups to promote and host sessions, such as paint nights, women's self-defense classes, snowshoeing, game nights, and educational sessions. This year, we have continued with our Victory Drop-In Centre, hosting 22 events reaching over 9,000 people and having 374 people take part. We will now hear from Jessa, one of our participants.
Growing up, I battled with and continue to battle with anxiety and depression. In my teen years, when I was at my worst, I didn't have a lot of help to cope with these mental illnesses, as mental illness was seen as not a real thing and wasn't really talked about. I think the Victory program really creates a safe haven where people like me can go and just have fun and kind of forget about the more stressful things that are going on in our lives, and kind of help deal with, or not have to deal with, the stigma. I believe because of this, Victory has become a crucial part of our community.
We wanted to increase our reach to this target group. We wanted to expand our program by reaching out to high schools in rural Newfoundland that may be lacking in some of the supports that we were.
Through our initial assessments, we had discussed our program with local high schools and administered surveys. As a result of the needs identified, we launched the Victory Ambassador Program. This is a student-led movement designed to change the school culture around mental health. Its purpose consists of increasing help-seeking behaviors, promoting social connectedness, and encouraging self-care and healthy habits.
Every school is different in the resources that they have available, the issues that they are encountering, and the steps that they want to take. Using these models, each school can create their own roadmap to success. This year, we have partnered with 4 schools: Claremville High School, Botwood Collegiate, Random Island Academy, and Heritage Collegiate.
Each one of the schools plotted a different roadmap to success this year. In September, we worked with Heritage Collegiate to execute a wellness fair for approximately 100 students in grades 9 to 11. Based upon activities from many of our modules, we had 8 different stations that focused on self-care, nutrition, anxiety, and being kind to others. Our next school, Random Island Academy, we implemented the Yoga for Bed activity from our Healthy Habits module. Sleep deprivation and stress can be a vicious cycle, especially for young adults. We often have trouble falling asleep because we are worried and anxious, and in turn, the fact that we didn't get enough sleep makes us stressed for the next day.
We partnered with Claremville High School this past fall when they hosted the Provincial Leadership Conference. This conference included over 300 high school students from across the province. At this conference, we set up wellness activities that students could easily take back to their schools to implement into their wellness programs. We also provided the students with information about launching the Victory Ambassador Program at their local school. Currently, we have connected with 10 additional schools to launch our Ambassador Program.
Our newest school to launch the Victory Ambassador Program is Botwood Collegiate. This launch will happen in March. The focus of this launch is based upon our social systems of support. This model focuses on ways in which students rely on each other and ways in which they could build upon this.
We are Enactus Claremville, and we realize everyone needs a little bit of help sometimes.
I want to be a teacher, a fireman, a vet. I could be the firewoman vet. Oh, wow. I'm going to be a spaceship engineer. I'm going to be a bubble master.
Youth are the backbone of Canada, and when properly engaged and empowered, they have the potential to make remarkable advances and achievements to change our world for the better. More than 66,000 people die from heart disease or stroke in Canada each year, with the highest rates of heart disease in the country occurring in Newfoundland and Labrador. Obesity is one of the leading causes of heart disease, and at a staggering 36.4%, our province tops all others in the number of overweight or obese children, putting these youth at an even higher risk. That is why in February, we launched Project Heartstarter. Heartstarter is a project for the community by the community. Its aim is to improve heart health in our province and to ensure that all Newfoundlanders and Labradorians have access to and awareness of the equipment that could save their lives. We are the only province in Canada without a publicly accessible defibrillator registry. Through a partnership with the Pulse Point Foundation, we are encouraging the public to find defibrillators near them and log them using the Pulse Point app. Everyone can take action to improve access to defibrillators in emergency situations. But what if someone goes into cardiac arrest in a remote location? To tackle our province's widespread geography and harsh climate, we partnered with a local startup to design and build customized drones that can get defibrillators to people faster. But what about people who don't know how to use a defibrillator? We needed to do more than help in the case of an emergency. We needed to find a way to make these emergencies less common. We knew that if we wanted to have a lasting impact, we needed to educate our youth. Through a partnership with the Heart and Stroke Foundation and the Red Cross, we are able to educate these youth on heart health and how defibrillators work through in-class sessions. Our education sessions focus on showing students and teachers how to use an AED and how to identify cardiac arrest. We also focus on the physical and dietary components of heart health and show kids how to make healthy choices. To date, Heartstarter has educated 209 youth on cardiac arrest, defibrillators, and healthy living, with plans to educate thousands of individuals through online platforms in the coming months. And through a partnership with the Provincial School Lunch Program, we're getting our youth involved in teaching by developing a cookbook of recipes for kids by kids. From recipe development to cookbook deployment, we're empowering them to be the heart-healthy change makers in their own homes. And on top of it all, the profits will be put back into the project, bringing our impact full circle. The youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow, and we want to ensure that they have the knowledge and skills to lead us in a heart-healthy future. But how can you worry about eating properly and exercising if you're worrying about the roof over your head or finding a job? What about the youth who are faced with unstable living conditions and barriers to employment? 1 in 7 individuals using shelters in Canada are children. On top of that, the youth unemployment rate in Newfoundland and Labrador is at 7% higher than the national average. We decided to create a project that could support our local furniture bank while creating a meaningful employment for at-risk youth. So last year, we launched Project Reclaim. Reclaim is a social enterprise where participants from Choices for Youth, a nonprofit organization in our province, build wooden furniture for home again. With the offcuts they build, home decor which we sell through an e-commerce site, making Reclaim a zero-waste initiative. Reclaim is giving at-risk youth both practical and behavioral skills required to succeed when entering the workforce. Since our launch last April, Reclaim has employed 7 youth, generated over $1,800 in revenue, allowing us to provide new furniture to 8 families in need. And earlier this month, we handed Reclaim over to Choices for Youth to run operations while we continue to provide support. This year, Enactus Memorial ran 2 empowerment projects that educated over 200 youth and impacted the lives of over 1,100 individuals. We are empowering youth across Canada to make a positive difference in their lives while developing sustainable solutions to create a better world.